AI about to completely change how you use computers. You ready for this? Now, we already did a video on the CEO of Microsoft, the current one, telling us that he might even remove the start button because he wants Copilot you to ask it a question and then things magically happen on your computer. It may open the program or maybe bring the program into the AI and do what you need it to do instead of having a start menu. Let's see what Bill Gates' thoughts are, because he just released this newsletter just a couple days ago. And he was kind of going back and forth. Now, actually, RIP, Paul Allen, he's no longer there. He's letting us know when he started Microsoft, all the stuff about software and computers and how it did. And then they revolutionized everything and did a bunch of vendor lock-in and killed a bunch of companies. RIP Netscape. RIP WordPerfect. Actually, I think WordPerfect's still kind of around, although it used to be the market leader before Microsoft shenanigans. I digress. We're not going to go on a huge rant here. Anyways, so he kind of does a little victory lap here, how he did a bunch of vendor lock-in and how you use your computer today and how it is changing. And AI is becoming a personal assistant for everyone. Oh, let's just put that in red. Yikes. Some critics have pointed out the software companies have offered this kind of thing before. Clippy. Anybody remember Clippy? Oh, man. Clippy. Oh, so great. The answer is dramatically better. You'll be able to have nuanced conversations with them. I can't wait to have nuanced conversations with non-humans. That sounds amazing. They will be much more personalized. They won't be limited to relatively simple tasks like writing a letter. Clippy has much in common with agents of a rotary phone as with a mobile device. Okay. Oh, yikes. All right. Moving on. We're going over just 8 assistants here. To see a dramatic change that agents will bring, not bots, but agents will bring, let's compare them to the AI tools available today. Most of these are bots. They're limited to only one app and generally only step in when you write a particular word and ask for help. Anybody see where this is going? Agents are smarter. They're proactive. Oh shit. It's going to do stuff without you knowing here. Okay. Capable of making suggestions before you ask them. They accomplish tasks across applications. They improve over time because they remember your activities and recognize intent and patterns in your behavior. Based on this, they offer to provide what they think you need, although you will always make the final decisions. Are we sure about that? Are we always going to make the final decisions? If they're just making the decisions for us and they're only presenting parts of the puzzle, let's say the final decision you would have inevitably come to isn't a decision the AI makes. A little nuance there. So it's possible AI might make us stupider. That's just my counter argument. Imagine you want to plan a trip, a travel bot, blah, 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 helps you do that when asked, it kind of sees everything. Okay, yeah, we got it. All right, AI agents, just better with some of the more line level stuff. I agree with that. I mean, the big issue I see here is this line: democratize services that are too expensive for most people. There are 4 big areas: healthcare, education, productivity, entertainment, and shopping. The thing I worry about, especially when it comes to shopping and a lot of these things, is AI showing preferences. Because Microsoft would be in a position to basically say, hey, Amazon paid us X amount of money, and that means we're going to prefer our AI to answer with everything from Amazon instead of your local one that gave us no money. It already happens today in Microsoft products, specifically Windows. Windows comes pre-shipped with a lot of bloat, which my tool gets rid of, but what happens when these big companies are the only ones paying Microsoft in their AI? And that AI is providing shopping results. They're only going to show the results, or at least show preference to those companies that do pay the ransom. I mean, the shakedown, like the mafia of old, except the digital mafia is what this is. That's where I see this AI agents thing going completely awry. Um, them saying they want to democratize services is a shroud for kind of just making the exclusive boys club that it almost already is, but making it 10 times worse because of everything I just laid out. So I worry about that. Healthcare, I mean, our healthcare is already kind of screwed here in America, so I don't know how this could get worse. Helping with administrative tasks, okay. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of for this, whatever they can do, because it's such a lost cause. I don't even know where to begin with the healthcare in America. And I don't want to turn into a big rant. So, sure, AI agents are well trained in mental health and will help therapy make it more affordable and easier to get. I guess we're getting to a point where we could ask the AI robot, like, hey, I got this rash on my leg. What is this? And taking a picture and it kind of just spitting out a random answer. What could go wrong? But I mean, it's better than WebMD that we have today. So the AI agent probably would do a better job than WebMD. And if you don't have enough money to actually go see a licensed professional, that will definitely do a better job than both. I do see AI actually improving this area. So I'm not so much worried about AI agents in healthcare. I think that's overall a good thing. Uh, where it might help people that normally would, hey, they might be like, hey, dude, that's cancer. You need to go to the doctor now. Where WebMD would be like, it could be cancer. It could be this. It could be this. And I think the AI agent might be better helping people get to the doctor, for better or worse. So I think in healthcare, all right, I concede that point. I think that's not so bad. Education, 100%. I think I'm going to be on board with this. Let's see. How's AI going to make education better? All right, text-based bots for Khan Academy, tutors in all these things. So we have bots now that explain certain lesson plans on kind of a fixed thing, where AI is be much more adaptive. I think this is really good, especially when it comes to AI teaching. I've said it before, and honestly, I still learn a lot from AI, whether it's Copilot, GPT. When I'm coding, it does help a lot. So I appreciate these tools for education, because a lot of times I'm looking for a specific example and I can just go, hey, AI, I'm looking for this example. Spit me out something. Sometimes it's wrong, but a lot of times I know enough to where I'm like, yeah, wait, isn't that wrong? And I ask a rhetorical question, just like to a teacher in school, and it goes, you know what, you're right. I am wrong. Here's the correct answer. And it kind of spits out something else. So in education, I really do see AI making people smarter when used the right way. And as long as it's not coming and you think of AI as a position of authority to where you would never question it. As long as you don't unquestionably just take the answers AI gives you and say, hey, this is how it is, you can learn a lot more with AI than you could pre-AI. 100% say that. Productivity. This is where it gets tricky. This is where we're starting to kind of go off the rails here. Yes, agents and AI agents in this instance will replace. Oh, geez, not that one. Let's go darker. Let's go dark mode. Yes, AI agents will do even more. Having one will be like having a person dedicated to helping with various tasks, asking them independently what you want. So there's going to be people that do get replaced in the AI era with productivity, but the smart people will just use AI to get more done. And for small business owners and things like that, AI is clutch, where I would normally have to farm out a certain thing. Like a lot of thumbnails I make nowadays, instead of having to pay an artist or something like that, I never did that to begin with. My thumbnails just got better because I can just be like, hey, give me a weird background about a crypto hacker in his gaming lair with neon lights that say I'm cool or something in the background. I can get real specific and it'll just spit out a whole bunch of different artworks and I'll be like, that looks hilarious. Yes, I'll take that. And I think that's cool. So for me, AI is huge with productivity already. And I could only see that amplifying from the area of programming to the area of YouTuber to the area of sysadmin, where I'm like, hey, I need a script to do this in PowerShell, and it'll spit out a good little template, and then I can just change what I need and go about my day. So productivity wise, I'm 100% behind that. I do worry that it does remove some line level jobs. That's going to be a bummer. And for the people that are less fortunate, that have less opportunity, that don't have much of an education, this is going to hurt bad because a lot of people have jobs that frankly won't exist. So yeah, that's a real thing. I'm not personally worried about it, but I know people that do have those jobs that I look at and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to exist in 10 years. And that's going to be a thing. So, and it's going to hit probably the youngest generation the worst. Take that for what you will. All right. This is the thing that I care the most about, the meat and potatoes of the newsletter, entertainment and shopping. These are Bill Gates' thoughts on entertainment and shopping and AI. This is where I see the most abuse, the most potential abuse. So I'm going to read this whole thing because I could see this really going aside, and I kind of want to see if there's any inflections in there that maybe old Bill might have some other ideas why he could put another zero onto his net worth. Already, AI can help you pick out some of the new TV and recommended movies, books, shows, and podcasts. Likewise, companies are interested in. All right, I'm invested in something called Pix. It lets you ask. I don't even know what that is. Anybody ever heard of Pix before? I don't know. That's weird. I've never heard of that service. What makes recommendations based on what you've liked in the past? Sounds like Netflix to me. AI has a Spotify has an AI powered DJ. Okay. Agents won't simply make recommendations, they'll help you act on them. This is where it starts to go off the rails. They help you act on them. Okay. If you want to buy a camera, you'll have an agent read all the reviews for you, summarize them, make a recommendation, and place an order for it once you've made your decision. Where does it make that order? Does it check the internet for the lowest price? Does it look at just immediately go to Amazon? Lots of nuance here. If you tell your agent you want to watch Star Wars, it will know whether you subscribe to the right service or if you aren't and offer you to sign you up. I mean, I'm just going to say, in this regard, I'm not sold on everybody should have a streaming service. I'm not certain that we all should be signed up for 4 or 5 different television services. I mean, 1 or 2, sure. 5, 6, 7, I'm sorry, you've lost me. That's where Sonar Radar and Overwatch, a couple other services out there will suit your needs. Maybe even do some looking up into news groups. I'd make a whole video about how AI is not going to help me with this, and we already have a better solution. But then I'd get a copyright strike, and I can't do any of that. So, I'm just saying, we already have better solutions. And I'm going to move on. All right. And if you don't want and you're not in the mood for it, we'll make custom suggestions and figure out the movie that you do want to choose. Okay. You'll be able to get news and entertainment tailored to your interests. Another big thing here. This is something I see happening a lot, and I hate this. Your news should not be tailored to your interests. The news should be the news, and it should be equal. Too much of our current situation is dividing people, pushing far left or far right, where more people should be center. And I hate tailored news feeds 100%. And I don't think any company should control that. It's just a whole separate rant, but I hate this idea because it's going to see, hey, you like clicking on a whole bunch of liberal or a whole bunch of conservative news stories, and then it's only going to feed you that crap. And that's just going to make you more radical and just drag society down further than it already is because of crap like this. This is just a terrible idea. You never should have this tailored. Yeah, I understand it makes sense. Yes, it will get you more engaged for longer, but overall it's a net lose for society. Yeah, we're already in that hell. This would just be worse. You'd say Fox, you could say MSNBC. Hell, you can pick almost any news station. They're all leaning a certain way. There's nobody really in the center anymore. And I hate that. I think that's awful. So anyways, yeah. Shockwave in the tech industry. Well, I don't know. Let's see. What do we got here? I could see this. Like, I've even done it on the channel a couple times. I've even said, hey, create this app or service. Not to this extent. I would just say, hey, create a new function and just say, hey, I want to write a function to strip out Windows task schedulers using this .NET library. And usually it would kind of get it kind of right. That's going to get better, but I don't think it'll write a whole new app or service in the way that you want or be very efficient at it. You're still going to need that higher level guy to kind of push it in the right direction one way or another. They still need to know what that program's doing to say, hey, we need this function to do this thing at this time. Because the bots, I don't think will ever, or the AI agents, as he's calling it here, will never get to that point. And I think that should definitely be called out. Chris, how much did you spend on your media server? Well, I spent a ton of time on that media server. I'm going to just tell you right there. Time is money, my friend. Enough. Yes. So yeah, I could see that. For app writing and software writing, it's definitely very good. It's going to make junior programmers elevate to senior programmers a lot faster than past. I really wish I was 20-year-old today and have a lot of these things. I could just grow and learn so much faster. And if you dedicate enough time to this type of thing, you could really, really get a ton of skills where normally you'd need a team of 10 or 20 people to do. So yes, it is a shockwave in the tech industry. AI is huge in this realm, and we've already seen what we've done. We've already made an entire other application with specific purposes using something like C# that I'm still learning, and it's very functional. And we still need to do a front end. Maybe on Thursday we'll do the front end for that, and we'll use AI for that to help us along. And that's actually been very successful. So I'm 100% on board with that. Technical challenges. What's the data structure for the agent look like? Creating personal agents. This is a weird thing. Did you guys see the personal assistants? It's like that movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix. Did you all see that? Because that was kind of insane, where it's like it sits right here. It can project onto your hand, so it project on, hey, with the time and date. It could read and stuff. It was weird, and it kind of reminded me of like a personal assistant kind of thing. It was $700 and $24 a month. Really expensive. Definitely too rich for my blood, but it was an interesting idea. I'm sure there'll be people that get it. I don't know if you guys saw it. I think it was like on here. I want to say, I don't even think I commented on it. I was just like, oh, this is terrible. Oh, sorry. This is great, by the way. IT people see each other. The Matrix. As a sysadmin, I can appreciate this. Yeah. That was great. Anyways, yeah, I saw it on X. I can't remember, or Twitter, or wherever. It was something about that AI assistant. Very interesting, but again, way too expensive. A monthly fee, and then it said it wouldn't spy on you, but it responded via voice commands. So, what? And then it's a cloud-based service, and everyone knows how I feel about cloud-based services. Vendor lock-in's a real problem, and it'd have to be very open, and it's just, I don't see anybody ever relinquishing that command and staying away from those closed systems. You really just, I would never sign on for it, at least unless it gave me a massive advantage which I could utilize in other variants. But I don't know. I worry about AI and a lot of the closed nature of people controlling their own thing, and there not being enough open source, and these big companies just kind of holding on to themselves for themselves. And that's the big problem with I see happening on the technical side of things, is having a Microsoft control a lot of it, having a lot of these people being the gatekeepers of who has what, who can ask what. That's the big problem I see with AI as well. That's not really mentioned in here. Uh, you know, obviously Bill Gates being one of the most influential tech figures in the world, he has no problem being one of the few that can make massive decisions like that. I just don't think that's right. I do think more people should have a say in things, and things should be more open. So that's the other thing, and obviously privacy and other big questions is the other thing. Probably copyright should have been addressed in here as well, but I think he probably purposely stayed away from it because of Microsoft's huge share of OpenAI and their $1 billion bets. But OpenAI basically took everybody else's stuff and learned off of it. Doesn't that entitle those creators to a portion of its product at the end of the day? And I'd say yes, absolutely. Or at the very least, OpenAI should share back, and it should be completely open source, or at least mostly open source, to a point where other companies can take it and it doesn't have to be gatekeeped. That's the big problem, is the gatekeeping. And I'm fine with someone gatekeeping something that they 100% create, but a lot of these AIs are using other people's work, are using open source work to learn, to teach programming. So is it right for them to gatekeep it? And I'd say no, absolutely not. So there should always be a free option, and it should always have some form of open source. It's just, I don't know. I don't know where that is. So that's the big thing that I have for AI. I think its future is very bright. There's many parts of this article I did agree with, that I was like, yeah, that's probably going to be a net win. But at the end here, there's a lot of problems with it as well that we need to address, and most people should think about, instead of just blindly saying, yeah, this is okay. And that's what I see right now. I like where it's at. I do worry it might go too far. I think it will go too far. So we'll see where the future goes. I don't think it's going to be like Elon Musk taking over and killing us all, and AI is just going to run rampant. I don't think that's going to happen. I think AI is far too stupid for that. But I do think it will eventually hit a point where we're going to see some gatekeeping and more closed things happen behind the scenes, and people hold on to other information that frankly doesn't belong to them. And that's where I see AI going.